Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third annual Fairfield County Heritage Association Telethon. I'm Tammy Drabina, and I'm the Telethon chairperson. And tonight was supposed to be with me Mark Taylor, who is chairman of the board of directors, president of the board of directors, and also director of the Georgian, and Wendy Gregory, who is the executive director of the Heritage Association, and they are both out with illness. So unfortunately, they can't be here tonight, so you have me. So I'll do the best I can. But I wanted to just tell you a little bit about Heritage. We started this telethon 2 years ago, so it was in 2020. And that was a horrible year. You all know we had to cancel all of our fundraising events. And someone made the just a joking comment, how about like a Jerry Lewis telethon? And I said, wait a minute, that's a great idea. So that was our first year. We did it thanks to Shane and Josh here at Interface Video. They were so helpful, and all of our people got behind it, and we raised a record amount of money, which really helped us the following year. Now, this year, we are in a little bit better shape, but still a little bit behind in our fundraising because we had to cancel our home tour again. This is the third year that we haven't had a home tour. And the reason we canceled was because it takes so many months of planning, and at the time in the winter, it was just still a little bit iffy to go ahead and start planning. So we are hopefully confident that next year we will have a home tour. We're planning on it again, and we'll have more about that later. But right now, let me tell you a little bit about Heritage. We own the Sherman House and the Georgian Museums. We do programming, historical programming, and educational programming. We have many different programs that we offer, such as a Civil War Roundtable that you'll hear about. We have activities that Wendy and Michael have started. Michael is our marketing director, Michael Johnson, who is also out sick. And they have done some outreach for children's events, the Saturday Cinema, and some other activities downtown. So we are trying all we can to keep the museums going, and we can do that with the support of the community. And that's why we're here tonight, to ask you to please make a pledge. Call in our office, 740-654-9923, and you can pay over the phone with a credit card. We have people standing by for that. We also have people in the driveway at the Georgian that will take your donation, and you don't even have to leave your car. Now, if you want to leave your car, though, they are in costume. So please feel free to get out and get a picture with Carl Speckman and Lynn Patchen and put it online and hashtag Fairfield Heritage Telethon. So one of the other things that we need donations for is maintenance. We have two 200-year-old buildings. The Sherman House was built in 1811. The Georgian was built in 1832. And as you can expect, you don't just look in the yellow pages for someone to fix that if you have something that needs done. So you need special craftsmen, and it is quite expensive. And currently at the Georgian, they have been repainting the exterior, all trim. The shutters have been replaced or repaired as necessary and repainted. It looks so much better. They've also done some gutter work. So, and thankfully, we were able to get a grant from the Fairfield County Foundation for about 80% of that. But we also need the 20% that we have to come up with, and that's how you can help too. Our future plans include work at the Sherman House. They also have some gutter work that needs done. Their exterior trim is showing its age, and there's some damage just from weather. It happens. So we wanted to raise the money to do that. We will be getting a grant from the state of Ohio for the exterior work at the Sherman House. But again, we have to come up with part of that, and that's how you can help us again. There's been a lot of people asking for a local history museum. And our two museums do feature local history, but they are more focused on the Sherman family or the McCracken family. But our plans call for a local history museum that will be down in the Goslin room of the Georgian. So that room is going to be rehabbed to hold cases where we can display all sorts of local history, not just Lancaster, but the entire county. And we're very excited about that. We're getting a grant for much of the cost of that as well. So we're very fortunate to have partners that see the need and are willing to help us raise funds. But again, we need your help. That's why we're here tonight. So please call right here, 654-9923. You can go to fairfieldheritage.com if you want to donate online. Just hit the donate button and it goes to PayPal. And then also, if you want to go to the Georgian tonight by 7:45, please, and drop off a check or cash. And we'll be reading a list of all the donors here after a while. So I'd love to read your name too. So thank you for watching tonight and tuning in. And I will be talking to you again in just a little bit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Johnson, and I'm the Marketing Director for Fairfield County Heritage Association. And as you may know, the association operates 2 museums in Lancaster, the Georgian Museum and the Sherman House Museum. These 2 homes sit in direct opposition to one another. The Georgian stands out with its lavishness, its size, its opulence, its presence. It's very imposing, and it flaunts its wealth and doesn't hide it. The Sherman House is more understated, classic, and subtle. It's more restrained, it's more approachable, maybe feels a little warmer. You'll feel that the minute you tour both houses. And what we find is, probably due to that difference, is that the audience for the Sherman House may not think there's anything for them in the Georgian, and vice versa. When in fact, that's not the case. Although the homes couldn't be more different, both of them house families that will change and make a dramatic impact on the city of Lancaster, on Fairfield County, on the state of Ohio, and on the country. And we want to encourage visitors to go through both museums. So we do offer a combo ticket that knocks the price down if you buy a ticket to both museums. And now we're kind of repackaging it. And we're introducing what we're calling the Beauty and Brawn Tour. The Beauty, of course, being the Georgian, and Brawn, of course, being the Sherman House. So if you buy a combo ticket for both museums, everyone that does that will receive one of these pamphlets. And inside is just information about both buildings, both constructions, and about the first families to inhabit them, the McCrackens and the Shermans. And we're hoping that this tour and this pamphlet helps connect these 2 homes, because they obviously don't connect in terms of architecture and style, but they most certainly connect with the history of Lancaster and the history of these 2 families. The McCrackens and Shermans lived a block apart, and they're buried within feet of one another at Elmwood Cemetery. So they remain close in life and death. So we're hopeful that you consider taking the Beauty and Brawn Tour. Pick up a pamphlet, tour both homes, and we look forward to seeing you.
I'm from Lancaster. I was born here. I volunteer at the Sherman House and at the Georgian. And I also do the gardening. I'm one of the gardeners at the Sherman House.
Well, my name is Carl Speckman, and I've been volunteering here at the Georgian for the past, I'd say, 12 to 14 years.
Martha Jean Vanderbilt.
I love the Georgian and thought I should help. And I did that for a long time. And my fella that was alive then, Bob Cornelius, he said he used to reception when I dosed. And he said one day, he says, you know what I'd like to do? And I said, what's that? And he says, I'd like to help with the Sherman House. I'd like to dose it. I says, well, you dose it and I'll reception for you. So we did both houses for a long time.
To a degree, I kind of grew up in this house. My grandmother was involved here when I was little, so I used to come here frequently with her and spent a lot of time here. And I guess I was well behaved because the docents would just let me kind of go about and look at things and explore the rooms on my own. The toy room today used to have automatons in it, and the docents would wind all the toys up and let me see how they worked and function. And I loved it. I loved being here. And when I grew up, coming here to volunteer, it's just a natural thing. There was just no other thought about it. This was what I was going to do.
I was brought here when it was a tea room. Our mother brought my twin and I here for some kind of a party. I don't know whether it was a wedding party or what it was. But I couldn't resist sliding down the banister. And when I got to the bottom, my mother was standing there. And I was in deep doo-doo.
A favorite item? Probably the windows in the front living room, because they aren't windows, those are really doors. And you can throw up the sash, which is what they called a window in those days, and open up the bottom and walk out onto the porch, which is a true portico. Mm-hmm. And I think that's most interesting. Any houses I know don't have that, not even the old houses.
Well, there are lots of things in this house that I am particularly fond of. As a child, the buffet from the haunted house was my favorite. Absolutely. I loved hearing the stories about it and its restoration, how it got to be here, and the whole story behind it as well.
I like the looks of it, but that piano out there was donated, very unusual, by my piano teacher when I was little, when I was a kid. And I didn't stay with music. My twin sister did. She majored in it. And but I remember I didn't play on that. Of course, students weren't allowed to play on that, but that's one of the most interesting things here because of my memories of her and the piano lessons that I didn't like to take.
Oh, every person who walks through the door is an opportunity, truly, either to help with their learning, to make this a great experience for them, or just to wonder, So,
I think all the people are so friendly, and everybody that comes in wants to know something about the house and wants to know something about Lancaster. And I find that even the people that come from the other countries, they're so interested, and you just don't get that in just an ordinary house or an ordinary place.
All right. Well, we're back, and I want to thank Michael Johnson for the first video, the Beauty and Brawn tour. That was his idea as marketing director, and it was an excellent one. And then our volunteers, as it said on the screen, we couldn't do it without you. And we want to thank each and every one of our volunteers for what they do and making our work possible. Right now, if you are going to go to the Georgian, I have a picture here, if we can bring that up, of our two costume. There they go. Carl Speckman and Lynn Patchen will be greeting you at the Georgian in proper attire, and they will be glad to take your donation. So that's something you don't see every day. And thank you to them for being good sports and getting having some fun with it tonight, because that's what this tonight is all about. We want to have fun, and hopefully you enjoy the video and have some fun as well. Now, speaking of fun, we have some pictures of some of the activities that we've had recently, and I want to just go over some of them with you. The volunteers make our activities possible, make the museums. We couldn't open the doors without volunteers, and we couldn't do any activities without volunteers. So these are just a few of the things that we've done. We'll be bringing those up here in just a second. We need to admire Carl and Lynn. So yeah, that's not the right one, but we will get it here in just a second. Live TV, folks, this is what happens. So I know Jerry Lewis used to have problems, so we're just in the spirit of Jerry Lewis Telethon, we are we are going to just move right along. The funds that we raise tonight go to not just the maintenance that we talked about, but other activities as well. All righty, here we go. We have a picture. This is Linda Kaufman. She is one of our volunteers. She gave a wonderful performance as Mother Angela at our Women in History luncheon that we had just last month in August. So she learned all about Mother Angela, who was a Civil War nurse, and she was actually from this area, and she was great friends with Ellen Ewing. So, all right. So the other pictures are not available right now. A little technical glitch. So that's okay. You'll just have to go in person and see all of them, I think. So as I started to say, we don't just need money for maintenance. That's a big expense, but we have other operational costs too. If we're going to do programming, that takes money. We need materials to hand out to children and adults. We have to pay for some of our speakers. Now, Linda very kindly donated her time, but many of our speakers, that's what they do professionally. So we do pay them, or at least we give them travel expenses if they're kind enough that they can donate their time. So we want to bring interesting and educational topics to you, and that does come with a cost. So the telethon is our fall fundraiser. As I said, we didn't have a home tour, and this is our fall fundraiser, so we're hoping to raise enough money to cover both events. Our goal is $30,000. And very gratefully, we are thanking the Fox Foundation. They are going to donate $15,000 to match the first $15,000 that we raise. So thank you to them. That is just phenomenal, and we can't thank them enough for their amazing support. So without any further ado, let us go on and continue with some of our wonderful videos.
Hi, hey, thank you for joining us this evening. Hey, look who we have here. It's the original 7 founding members of the Heritage Association. Oh, we all passed away years ago, but we like to show up every now and then and just pay a visit. And this evening we're having a tea here in the Georgian, and it's so much fun because nobody knows we're here. Hey, come on, let me introduce you to everybody. This is Petey Smith, Mary Catherine Vallerboom, Caroline Rockwood, Dorothy Peters, Miriam Furness, and Emily Martin. And I'm Ruth Drinkle. You know, back in the day, we were really good friends. And we were alarmed at how we were losing so many of our old historic homes. And we thought, you know, we need to do something about this. So we got together and started having meetings. So in 1962, we started the Fairfield Heritage Association.
Excuse me, Ruth. Don't you mean the Fairfield County Heritage Association?
Oh, that's right, ladies. A few years ago, the association changed the name from the Fairfield Heritage Association to the Fairfield County Heritage Association because we wanted everyone in the county to know that they were part of this organization.
But Ruth, you know we wouldn't be anything without all the volunteers that help us and give hours and hours of their time to this organization. We're so grateful to them.
Yeah.
That is so right, Caroline. And we need to let everyone know that anybody can become a member of the Fairfield Heritage Association. There are memberships in a variety of different prices, and the memberships are good for a one-year period. A student can join for just $10.
Oh, wow.
And a senior can have an individual membership for $20. A regular individual membership is $25. And there's even a senior couple membership that is $35. And a household membership that consists of the 2 adults and any children living in the same household for $50. If you feel like you would like to contribute more, there is also a business membership for $75. And then there are memberships that are donor, supporter, patron, and benefactor. These memberships are from $100 to $1,000 and up.
And it really is easy to become a member. There are several ways you can do it. You can log on to the website at fairfieldheritage.com, click on the membership icon and follow the instructions. You can call the office at 654-9923, and anyone that answers can walk you through the steps of becoming a member. Or if you're already a member, you'll receive your membership renewal form in the mail sometime at the end of October. And in it, just fill out your membership renewal form, mail it in, and it's as easy as that.
Do you know that they offer all kinds of perks just for being a member?
They do.
Yes. Just for being a member, you receive free admission to both the Georgian and the Sherman House museums whenever you choose to visit during regular tour times. However, it is suggested that you contact the Heritage Office ahead of time and book your tour. Tour times at the Sherman House are 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m. and tour times at the Georgian are 1, 2, and 3 p.m. Both museums are open Tuesday through Sunday from the start of April through the second week of December. Members also receive a free subscription to the association's newsletter, which is called the Quarterly. Have a look at these girls. The Quarterly is filled with all the latest information about the association. There's always an informative and historical article, updates to donations made to the association, worthy heritage news items, and a list of upcoming activities and lectures.
Speaking of activities, there are many exciting heritage-sponsored activities and events to attend. Just this summer, the association has been involved in the Saturday cinemas that are taking place in downtown Lancaster. Heritage sponsors hands-on activities for the children during the Saturday cinemas. Heritage also sponsors Women in History Luncheon in the fall. They have started something new this year. I believe it's called Luncheon and Learn, where groups of 12 to 15 can schedule a gathering on a Monday at the Georgian to enjoy a box lunch, a little history about antique furniture, and take a mini tour of the Georgian. Heritage provides educational programming and helps the community with historical research.
Yes, Petey, that is all really exciting. In recent years, Heritage has also sponsored a Victorian Halloween party, cemetery walks, bus trips, and patron parties, just to name a few. But from the beginning, one of the biggest events has been the home tour. Because of COVID, the home tour has been canceled the last 3 years, but the tour will resume next summer, the 3rd week in June. We're really excited about it. I hear they have a fantastic set of homes and buildings lined up. Oh, and let's not forget the Sherman House. There's a wonderful group called the Civil War Roundtable that meets at the Sherman House 9 months out of the year on the 3rd Wednesday at 7 o'clock. They have speakers, reenactors, musicians, even gardeners who present programs related to the Civil War or the Sherman family. They are always fascinating.
Another very popular activity are the Victorian Teas. They have 3 a year, one around Valentine's Day, one during the Lancaster Festival, and one at Christmas time. Another wonderful perk of being a member is that you get first chance at buying tickets to all the fundraising events that Heritage sponsors. For these events, members get first opportunity to purchase tickets on the first day that the sales are open, and then on day 2, the ticket sales are available to the public.
And as a member, you have the opportunity to serve at any of the many events that the Heritage sponsors. You can serve as a docent and conduct tours right here at the Georgian or at the Sherman House. Or you can participate by being a guide during the candlelight tour that the association sponsors during the Christmas season. It's a walking tour held the 2nd Saturday of the month of December that features a short program held at several of our beautiful churches located right here in downtown Lancaster. It's a great way to kick off your holiday season. And if that doesn't suit your fancy, you could also serve working in the gift shop here at the Georgian or at the Sherman House.
Have you been to the gift shops?
Yes.
They're a great
Wonderful.
place. Yeah, they're a great place to shop for that person on your list that might be hard to buy for. At the Georgian Museum, they offer sale items, jewelry made by local artists, and even books on local history. There's also a gift shop at the Sherman House Museum, and that is a great place to shop for the Civil War buff that you might know. They offer great books on Civil War and the Sherman family, and there's a lot of awesome gifts for the casual shopper, and they even have some children's items as well.
Great.
The gift shops are a must-see for sure. Ladies, do you realize that 60 years ago we founded this organization?
Something.
And 50 years ago we purchased and restored the Georgian Museum.
It's beautiful.
Also,
I remember that.
40 years ago we acquired the Sherman House Museum. Isn't it wonderful how the organization has continued to grow and keep up with the interest in all the museums?
Yes.
Our mission to preserve the rich history has lived on. And there have been so many wonderful people that has been leading this organization for 60 years.
Yes, there have been. But of course, it takes a lot of money to maintain the Sherman House and the Georgian. Heritage is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization, which means Heritage receives no tax dollars. All monies received from memberships go towards the upkeep and maintenance of both museums.
And not only are we dependent on our membership to raise funds to keep for the upkeep of our museums, but it's also necessary to do fundraising in order to cover the cost of everyday expenses such as utilities and office supplies and cleaning and stuff like that. Heritage is just so appreciative of all the monies raised by way of fundraising and membership and our generous donors. We simply would not have survived the past 60 years without everyone's generosity.
And let's not forget, there is another way to financially contribute to the Heritage Association, and that is through your will. I hope you would consider leaving a small sum earmarked to the Fairfield County Heritage Association. We have great watchdogs in our organization, and your money will be well spent.
Yes. So we hope that you will consider joining all of us and becoming members of the Fairfield County Heritage Association, knowing that you are contributing to the preservation of the rich history of Fairfield County, Ohio. Thank you for joining us this evening. Bye.
Bye.
So, how's everybody doing? Tea?
All right, here we are in the Fairfield Heritage office, and we have office manager Debbie Henry, and she's busy answering the phone. All the people calling in pledges for the telethon. We thank you so very much for supporting us. You can call in with a credit card, or you can just call in with a pledge and send us a check later or drop off a check or cash. And helping Debbie out tonight is our volunteer coordinator, Marty Knott. So, hey, Marty, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Okay, good. You waiting for calls?
I'm waiting.
Okay, well, people get busy. Get busy because Marty and Debbie want you to call, and they're waiting for you. So give them a call, 654-9923. All righty. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mark Friend. I'm currently serving on the board of directors with the Fairfield County Heritage Association. I'm also on the Building and Grounds Committee. As most of you are aware, the Heritage Association owns, operates, and maintains not only the Georgian Museum, but the Sherman Museum. Now, due to the age of these buildings, there's a constant need of repairs, continual. Currently, at the Georgian, we are in the process of cleaning all the exterior. We're painting all the woodwork on the outside, which looks really great at this point. We are also going to do some sidewalk repairs and some replacement of bricks, but we're not doing all the sidewalks. We're hoping to get to the Sherman House this year and do some exterior painting and some gutter work. Due to the lack and the shortage of materials and labor, sometimes all this doesn't get done as quickly as we'd like for it to be done. That being said, doing the best we can to maintain these buildings, and we are asking for your financial support so we continue to keep these Fairfield County gems open to the public. Thank you.
Hi folks, this is Mark Taylor, President of the Heritage. One of the missions of the Heritage is to preserve early objects of Fairfield County. So I wanted to share with you some of the recent items we've acquired that are in display in our museums. First off, I wanted to share with you these early Fairfield County silhouettes. They're of Samuel Herr and his wife. They were early residents in Lancaster here. These are actually made out of wax and they're painted. It was originally believed these were made in Philadelphia, and they brought them to Lancaster when they settled here. Next, we'll go into the dining room to share some more objects we recently acquired. Okay, the next objects I wanted to share with you are these set of dining room chairs that are we recently acquired a few years ago. They're on display in the Georgian dining room here. If you notice distinctive carvings on the chairs, the sunburst design, this is an early trait of Fairfield County furniture made in the 1830s period. Little unknown fact about these chairs, we acquired them from a local dealer. The dealer originally acquired 4 chairs from an auction in Virginia numerous years ago. And then the last few years, he was able to acquire 6 more chairs from an auction in Massachusetts. But what's interesting, when they were restoring the chairs or removing cloth from the seats, originally all 10 chairs had the same cloth on them. So it's believed this was an original set of 10 chairs. We're up in the Founders Room, bedroom in the Georgian Museum. And a few years ago, we did acquire these 2 large paintings here of Thomas Ewing and his wife, Maria Ewing. These are kind of painted in their later years of their life here, but we're very fortunate to get this set of paintings of these significant Fairfield County residents. Hi folks, we're over at the Sherman House now, and I'm going to share some more objects over here that we recently acquired. Here in the dining room of the Sherman House, we had a donation of this set of 8 chairs. They replaced a later set of chairs. These are more period appropriate, being the Sheraton style. They have the original paint. They also have gold gilding of leaves and vines on them. The next object I wanted to share with you was this early Sheraton chest of drawers we acquired for the Sherman House. It was made at Boat's Corner, probably late 1820s, early 1830s period. The reason for acquiring this was it was a local piece made here in the county, and also is period appropriate to the period when the Shermans lived here in the home. Next object I want to share with you is the upstairs part of the Sherman House. This is an early flax wheel that was made here in Lancaster in the late 1820s, 1830s period. And it was made by William Bodenheimer, who was he obviously made spinning wheels, and later he did make some rifles here in town. This is actually acquired at an auction of Max Stapleton. Many of you might know his name, but he was the contractor that helped restore the Georgian Museum back in the 70s. So we're fortunate to get this object from his estate.
Okay, and we're back. And thank you, Mark Friend and Mark Taylor, for the videos that they did, and also the founder skit. The 7 ladies who did the portrayed our founders were amazing, and they are most of them are board members. So we want to really thank them for helping us out there and giving us something, some information there. I want to read off the list of the donors that we have so far. And if you want to hear your name read, and I'd love to read it, you give us a call. So far, our donors are Cheryl Bash, Robert and Mary Taylor, Mark Taylor, Mark Friend, Robert Johnston, Tim Kozar, Catherine Davis, Will and Elizabeth Blend, Paula Timmis, Jean Bradford in memory of Howard Bradford, Deanne Lightnecker, Meredith and Jack Warnett, Art and Betty Wallace, Paul Smith, Dolores Traup, Doug and Sue Ingram, Fairfield Federal, myself in memory of Howard Bradford, Fran Miller, and Mitty Klum, Karen Rubel, Lynn Patchen, Laura and Frank Bullock, Clarence and Jacqueline Jones, Adam and Pamela Lanier, Betty Sakis, Mark Taylor, again, bless his heart, J.C. and Company, Betty Arnsbarger in memory of Jim Hochtel, Charles and Diane Eversole, and Thomas George. So that's where we are right now. So please call. Let me get the number here. 654-9923. Go online, fairfieldheritage.com. Click the donate button, and you can donate PayPal, credit card, or drop off a check tonight by 7:45 at the Georgian Museum, corner of Broad and Wheeling, sort of across from the main library, and just go up in the driveway behind the museum, and they will help you out. Carl and Lynn will be glad to help you out. And if you call in, then you'll talk to Debbie or Marty, and they are also very happy to help. I'd like to acknowledge our auction donors, and very, very kind of all these people to donate items for our auction. Please check it out, biddingowl.com, and put in Fairfield County Heritage Association. There it is on the screen. And some amazing items. We've got donations from the Columbus Zoo, Tim Hortons, Walker Shoe Center, the Frame Shop, My Favorite Things, the Ohio Glass Museum. The Heritage Association has donated a number of things. Wendy Gregory, Kara Mendenhall, Adam and Pam Lanier, Dottie and Dan Ahern, Robert Kroger, AHA Children's Museum, Cheryl Bash, Friends of Heritage, Tim Kozar, Karen Rotkus, The Old Shoe Factory, Keller Market, Chris and Barbara Claypool, Phyllis Kuhn, Coffee Geeks, and Georgian Steering Committee, Christopher Morgan, Misty Harmon, David and Barbara DeLong, and Stump. So thank you again for all of our donors, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the auction. I brought just a few here to look at. This is a lovely little gift basket for kids. And it has a coloring book with Civil War fashions, some Civil War money, commanders, also puzzles, Lego, soldiers, and a little t-shirt in there. So lots of different things. That would make a great activity for a child. We also have one of our mugs. General Sherman, these have been very, very popular this year, and he likes his coffee the way he likes Atlanta, which is hot. So, and a t-shirt so you learn how to properly tie a Sherman necktie. And you Civil War buffs know I'm talking about. If you're not, this will explain what a Sherman necktie is. And I'll give you a hint if you don't know. In the Civil War, Sherman's troops would take railroad ties and then heat them up on a fire, and then they would bend them so that they would be unusable. And they started calling those Sherman neckties. Just acknowledgement of Sherman. This is a gift basket from Walker Shoe Center. It has lots of goodies in it. A couple other things I want to mention are we have super gifts as far as a house on Lake Chautauqua that sleeps 8 people. It's 5 nights, and it's just a beautiful home, and you can get that for 5 nights, and that's just between you and the owners, and then you can set that up, and you can bid on that, and it's very, very reasonable so far. And then we have something really special too from the Georgian Steering Committee, and that is a history of your house and a drawing of your house. And we did this for the first time last year. And Joyce Harvey, who is an expert in local history, and she writes a column for the Eagle Gazette, but she knows everything there is about research as a former library director, and she will research your house for you. So if you just bought a house or you have a house and you just wonder about the history, who's owned it before? Maybe it was used for a business. Who knows? But she will research it for you and give you, all the information that's available on that house. And to make it even more special, Karen Henry will make a drawing or painting of the home that you can proudly display. She's an amazing artist. So this is a super, super package. And last year it was extremely popular, and I expect it will be too. So check it out online if you're interested in that. We have a 2-night stay in Pearl Cottage, which is right near downtown Lancaster. So if you have somebody coming from out of town, or maybe you just want to get away for a weekend someplace different, that's one of the prizes. And then there's also a cabin that's by a lake, and it's not too far away. It's a somewhat close, but it's still a lovely getaway for nature and peace and quiet. So those are just a few of the things that we have. Please go online. Let me show you that again. BingOwl.com, Fairfield County Heritage. All right, it's up there on the screen. Excellent. Okay, let me go over some of the things for membership. If you're a member of the Heritage Association, then you get all sorts of benefits. You get free admission to both the museums. If you're an individual, it's you. If it's a household, then it's you and the spouse and any children that reside in the house, or you can get a couple membership. So you get free admission, you get discounts in the gift shop. So you get 10% off everything in the gift shop, or most everything. Some of our consignment items, we can't offer that on there. But if you're a volunteer, you get 20%. So another reason to volunteer. You also get the Heritage Quarterly. And our founders spoke about that a little bit. And these are, a magazine comes out 4 times a year, hence the name, the Quarterly. But they're just jam-packed with information. There's always a great story, great cover story. We've won awards for this before from the Ohio Museum Association. That's how good they are. Mary Lawrence used to be the editor of that, and she retired. And so then Michael Johnson is doing it now, and he's kept up the great work, continued that with excellent stories. And you get those free. What else do we get if you have a membership? You have free admission. Oh, you get the first opportunity to buy tickets. A lot of our events sell out. And if you are a member, you can get to buy a ticket a day before the general public. So that makes a big difference at times because, like I said, some of our events, especially the teas at the Georgian, will sell out very, very quickly. So that's just a few of the things that you get with membership. So let me see what's coming up next here. All righty, we are going to go into our next talk about the home tour that we hope to have next year. And you'll learn all about that. Cindy Smith is a tour chairman, and she's been trying to do this for 3 years now. So hopefully we can do it next year. And let me just take a minute to wish that Wendy and Michael are feeling better tonight. And Mark Taylor had illness in his family that he was helping out with. So I hope that your dad's feeling better very soon, Mark. So with that, let us go to our next video.
I'm here in the Georgian with Cindy Smith. She is the chair of the home tour committee, and I'm going to talk to her about what is coming up for 2023, and we might talk a little bit about the past and what we should expect. So, hi, Cindy.
Hi, Lady. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, this is our 52nd year. Have you been in on any of the other ones? Can you tell us what's some history and what it's like?
Sure. Oh, it's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of volunteers. We need a lot of volunteers, but it really is a very worthwhile weekend. You learn so much. You see so many different kinds of homes, public buildings. So yeah, we hope it's another great tour.
And how many buildings do you think we will see in 2023? I know there are public buildings and there are private homes. What's your goal?
Right. We would like to have 5 to 6 private homes, and we normally have, of course, the Georgian and the Sherman House. And then we do some public buildings, 3 or 4 maybe of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this year, can you share with us where the neighborhood is, where we might be seeing the homes this year?
Sure, yeah. We have a couple of homes on Broad Street, a couple of homes on High Street, Chestnut. Our public buildings are the same area, mostly High Street. And I think there's some buildings that homes and buildings that people have never been into before.
Well, that's exciting. So how do you pick them? What's the goal when you pick the buildings? Is it whoever will say yes, or is there a theme or interesting things about a building that make you ask the homeowner or the public building?
Sure. Well, just like, any design, you kind of, sometimes you have a theme and you go with it that way, or other times, yes, the homeowners will offer their homes or they'll be asked. And then we kind of figure out, what sort of a mapping area it is. And because of pandemic, we haven't had one for a couple of years, but the last one was centered, in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And so we're coming back to Lancaster this year. And, next year we might be in another little community. So we kind of would like to go county, city, if we can.
That's great. Yeah. So would it be walkable this year, or do you think there'll be a big chunk where we can walk and then we might have to drive to a couple? When you think about the map, what do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, I think that you only maybe have to move your car once. It's walkable, very walkable. So if you can picture, close to the fairgrounds and then up on High Street,
Well, that should be fun to get sort of 2 neighborhoods in one tour.
That's fun.
Can you tell us about the date and the cost and the hours?
We haven't raised prices, so the date and the times, they're always, they're the same as the year before. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we do have 3 ticket prices. We have a pre-sale ticket price, we have a general day admission price, and a student price. Mm-hmm. And then it's always in June, and I believe it's
24th and 25th?
24th and 25th of 2023.
And are the hours still 11 to 5, Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, okay. Yes.
When will tickets be available?
They will be available like a month before. So like the 1st of May, they should be available. And you can get them right up to that day, but don't wait.
Okay, and we can get them online, and you can call the office, you can email, all the usual ways to get tickets with us. Because this is one of our big fundraisers. So this really, between sponsors in the tour booklet and the admission, the tickets, this is one of the big ways that we fund what we do here. So it seems like there'd be several hundred people.
Oh yeah, I would love to have 1,000. Wouldn't that be nice? I know, between all the properties. But yes, it is one of our biggest fundraisers, and we love to see everybody come back out and see what they think about the homes. And we try to pick different designs this year. We even have a mid-century modern home.
Now that will be fun, because I know mid-century modern is very hot right now, and people are interested in that style. So that will be fun.
Won't that be fun?
So anything you want to tell us about the home tour that we haven't talked about?
I would love to have some new volunteers if we could. I'm sure Candy and Dee would like that. They're in charge of our volunteers.
That's right. And we do ask homeowners to bring family and friends so they have coverage for the home. Right. So it takes a whole community to pull one of these off, because we're filling them.
Hello to all you friends of the Fairfield Heritage Association. My name is Bill Brubaugh, and I would like to tell you about one of the projects that the Heritage Association supports. You've all seen, or at least heard of, the film Field of Dreams. It features the famous line, "Build it and they will come." A baseball field is built, and the ghosts of famous players return to play, appearing from a cornfield. Many years ago, the Fairfield County Heritage Association created the Lancaster Civil War Roundtable. And sure enough, on certain Wednesday nights, the ghosts of Civil War men and women join us in the Sherman House. I am the current president of that General William T. Sherman Memorial Chapter of the Lancaster Civil War Roundtable. The Roundtable is a local group that enjoys meeting together to share our knowledge of the Civil War and to learn more from each other and from both nationally and local presenters. A time to socialize and enjoy refreshments is included in every meeting. And no other roundtable can say that they are privileged to meet in General Sherman's boyhood home. Our meetings are the third Wednesdays of most months. We do take a summer break, and we skip the busy month of December. The meeting starts at 7 p.m. and generally lasts about 2 hours. A donation of $5 is requested to reimburse our presenters. As I mentioned, we usually meet in the Sherman House, but larger events or COVID protocol may force us to use a different venue. Always check the Heritage website for specific meeting information. On September 15th, we will be honored to have Dr. Catherine Jellison, PhD, the chairperson of the History Department at Ohio University, as our guest. She will present a program on women in the Civil War. On October 19th, our own Dr. Chris Reichman will present a program about the Ewing family. He is uniquely qualified as he and his family live in the Ewing house. On November 16th, we will have the 6th annual trivia contest, hereafter to be known as the Jim Hochtel Trivia Celebration, in honor of the gentleman that started it all. And no, you don't have to know the serial number of the gun that killed President Lincoln. In fact, I'll give you some of the answers right now. General A.P. Hill, Old Bob, General John Buford, Farina Davis. All you have to do is figure out which questions they belong to. One tradition of November is that the meeting has gourmet refreshments provided by Mark Taylor and Patrick Kopp. If you have never been to a meeting, please join us. We'll make you feel at home. And who knows, if you look closely in the battlefield tent on the second floor of the Sherman House, you may even see Old Kump writing tomorrow's order of battle. Well, I have to go. I think I just heard something in the corn, and I think I smell a faint aroma of cigar smoke. While I go check, you can get back to the fun.
All right, thank you. I want to thank Cindy Smith and Bill Brubaugh for their kind videos that they did for us tonight. And Bill, yeah, old Bill, I'll know the answer to one question anyway. I don't know what the question will be. But with me here tonight, I have a special guest. She's one of our volunteers. You saw a little bit about her earlier, and it's Barb Sullivan. So come on up, Barb. Okay.
So
I'm really happy that you were here, be able to come here tonight, and tell us just a little bit, why do you like volunteering?
Well, I like volunteering. I've done it for near on 15 years, maybe more. And you get to meet people. And I go to the Georgian, and I help at the Sherman House. And there's no time that any people will come in, and you never know who's going to come in. You might have all fellas, or you might have all ladies, but they all have a story. They all have questions. It is so interesting. And the people that are already volunteers are so good to us, and they help us. And when there isn't anybody there, we get a chance to talk. And it's so interesting to be a volunteer. And it's only from 12 to 4 at the Sherman House, or 1 to 4 at the Georgian.
Well, thank you, Barb. I appreciate that. And I want to tell you something here. I got you here under false pretenses. because each year a volunteer is selected to receive the Diane Eversole Award for enduring and exemplary contributions to Fairfield Heritage. This award is named after its first recipient, who has done so very much for our organization for so many years. So Diane, I believe you're watching tonight. We love you. Thank you for all you've done. So Diane personally selects the volunteers that are honored each year. And because she's unable to do it, I have the privilege of presenting it in her honor. And it's always a surprise to the recipient. So as you're watching this, you're finding out who our winner is along with Barb. So our volunteer this year started at the Georgia at least 20 years ago. She can work as either the receptionist or the docent as needed. She does many other things that may not always be noticed, such as trimming the ivy each year at the mansion and painting the back porch and side steps when needed. She's a member of the Georgian Steering Committee and helps at numerous events, giving her time and talent to make our organization better. After several years at the Georgian, she added volunteering at the Sherman House as well, where she also works as a master gardener to keep the historically accurate flower and herb beds productive and attractive for visitors. She's been a part of the General Sherman Civil War Roundtable for many years and takes photos of events so we can share them in the quarterly or on Facebook. She is known as a hard worker and a dependable person, and someone who truly has it in her heart to see Heritage succeed. This volunteer is being named as a representative of both houses. So it is my honor to present the 2022 Diane Eversole Award for Enduring and Exemplary Contributions to Fairfield Heritage to Barbara Sullivan. And thank you. I have something for you. Would you have anything to say?
Well, I'm surprised. But Diane's been a special person to me for years. I think she's the one that got me on the Fairfield County Heritage Association, the steering committee. She's the one that got me on.
Well, she's quite a person, and to receive an honor in her name it says a lot about you too, Barb. And we congratulate you in behalf of the board, the staff, all the volunteers. It's my honor to present you with this plaque.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Barb, yes, you can sit down now. She thought she was here to talk about being a volunteer, and so she had no clue. But that just shows how dedicated she is. That she would come here to talk about being a volunteer when she wasn't really prepared, or being in front of the TV cameras is a little scary thing sometimes. So. This is a year of anniversaries. I just want to mention that too. As our logo says, 60 years ago, the founders of the Fairfield Heritage Association, the 7 women who decided that they were tired of seeing historic homes and buildings bulldozed down for parking lots, got together, decided to start an organization. It's called the Fairfield Heritage Association. We changed the name to Add County in 2017 to better reflect that we service all of Fairfield County. That was 60 years ago, 1962. 1972, the Heritage Association bought the Georgian. It was in a state of disrepair. It was about ready to be torn down because it was in such horrible shape. But there was a fundraising campaign, and the committee and Fran Utley did everything they could, and they raised the money to buy the house, which was $45,000, and then they managed to raise another $100,000 for the renovations. And so many people in the community got involved. It always surprises me how many people have come in the Georgian and they said, when I was a teenager, I worked here. I ripped wallpaper off the wall, or I carried things from the attic to the outside. So it truly was a community effort to save the Georgian, and that was their theme that year, 1972. 4 years later, it was open to the public. And aren't we glad it was saved? 1982 was when the Heritage Association took possession of the Sherman House. It had been run by the Ohio History Connection, as it's known now. They were having some budget issues in the early 1980s. And so they were looking to options for their properties. And so they approached Fairfield Heritage, see if we would be interested. And of course, we were. And so we have owned the Sherman House since that time. And we are very, very grateful to be able to keep General William Tecumseh Sherman and his brother, U.S. Senator John Sherman, and the rest of the amazing family, their legacy alive. So we're celebrating all kinds of anniversaries this year. So help us celebrate. If you're looking for a donation, maybe like 60 or 50 or 40 in honor of one of these anniversaries would be very cool. Or any amount you can give. It's all appreciated. It all helps. Every bit helps. And we are so grateful that you're watching tonight. And we are going to move on to our next video. And this will be with some of the things that are done to reach out to the community. All right, let's take a look.
Michael Johnson and I are here today to talk about outreach. And I think I'd like to start with, the very first project that Michael started when he took on the new role was the Scipio Smith story in the Quarterly, which led to a collaboration with Allen Chapel. Would you like to talk about your collaboration with Allen Chapel and how you did your research and how that turned into the Black Pioneer History Tour? And that's the best illustration of collaboration, and it was the first thing you did.
Yeah, so Scipio's story was one that I knew of before I started working here, and when they told me that I could write my quarterly on anything, I said, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be about Scipio, because I wanted to dive in and find out more information about him, and to find out his connection to the church, being the founder of the church, was such a neat discovery, and to be able to work with them in the end was also wonderful, because that led to the other things that we've done as far as outreach is concerned too, for Allen Chapel, as far as a history sign that we're going to be installing. But yeah, then the tour came about, and
the collaboration with Lancaster Transit to get the buses. And then, when we went to the Fairfield County Foundation and their diversity grant to pay for the sign with the Black history and the church history to be put by Allen Chapel. That was a collaboration, that whole project, with multi-faceted collaboration with so many people in the community.
Yeah, that quarterly, that led to a lot. So, but I think it all, after the Pioneer Tour, I think what really started was us getting involved in the downtown Saturday cinemas.
That was the next step, and that was my baby, because when I was at AHA, we did every Saturday cinema, and I knew that was a group that we really needed to reach out to, young families, and show them that we're fun, that we're nice, and that our museums are welcoming. So we went down and brought up a group of 15 to tour the Georgian, and then the next month to tour the Sherman House. And it was getting people who had never been in the museum before, and in a way that was gentle and quick, not boring, kind of fun, expose them to interpreters and volunteers in costume, and then having costume people walk around on the square and really represent the town history and get those young minds curious about what was going on in our museums. So that was a lot of fun, and I think you've got to serve the whole community, and you start with the little ones and go on up. So that was the perfect opportunity to share that way.
Yeah, history should be about connections. Well, I think we need to get away from history being dates and memorizing certain things to spit them out during tests and forget about them for the rest of our lives. Those things don't stick with you. Connections stick with you. So seeing people down on the square dressed up will stick with you. Reading about history with people that look like you will stick with you. History is generally written by those who win. And so if you're not a part of that group, you might not find yourself in the history books. You might not find a place for you in history, but history is for everybody. So the more connections you can make, the deeper understanding that you're going to have for history and a deeper appreciation for it.
Yeah, and we have been lucky to have retired school teachers that have helped us with a lot of our outreach and our group tours. And so we have young children out behind the Georgian doing Sarah's laundry and hanging laundry on the line. Like Cheryl Bash has them out scrubbing with the washboard and wringing out and we have vintage clothes that they're actually washing. And then we'll have Kay Helm and Bruce Garrett over at the Sherman, and we'll have a bucket brigade because we've got actual fire buckets from the past, and so we'll have kids out with beach buckets running a fire brigade so it's physical and it's hands-on and it's fun, and that kind of lays down a layer of knowledge and interest that you can build on as children get older. So we're really going after that young child and then that beginning layer of learning about local history.
Right, and that's something that they'll remember. I mean, they might not remember the names, and they may struggle with the place that they were at, but the activities and anytime you get your hands on something, Kay does an excellent job of bringing old toys to the downtown cinemas and just letting them experience what life was like through hands-on. It's so much more valuable than just lecturing or having them read something out of a book.
Yep. So we were at the United Way Day of Play with Kay's Toys and the Bucket Brigade in the water. The Community Festival, we were there. And we have some plans to be at the County Parks Harvest Festival in September. So we really are trying to get out into the community in different places to share a little bit about heritage and the beginnings of learning about history. And then we're collaborating with the library because Michael's lectures have been so popular, we don't have any place to put all the people who want to come and see what he's going to talk about. His quarterly topics have been very popular. So the library has generously offered their third floor meeting room, and it has a capacity of 150. They also have the technology to do a really nice presentation. So that's another collaboration that came out of the quarterly topics. The Murder on Mulberry was very well attended.
Yeah. That was another one of those things that collaboration came from a quarterly, and we're going to go further with that as well.
And we are planning to collaborate with the fair and maybe do some walking tours with their little historical buildings. And there's also some plans to do a quilt trail on some barns from families who've been in agriculture from the beginning, some historical farms, and do a trail. So we're really trying to find people in the community that we have the same interests, same goals, and when we combine resources and share resources, I think our reach is greater. So our whole way of doing things is collaboration and partnership and reaching out into the community and groups whose stories haven't been told before.
Yeah, trying to show an understanding that everybody has a place in history. And just because they're not in the books that you read growing up doesn't mean that they don't have a place. And that's been a consistent theme over the past almost 6 months now that we've been here, is just trying to show people that they're also a part of history. Even though you don't see them in the books every day.
Yeah, and I see them when we're walking the streets up and down, back and forth between Sherman and the Georgian. I think about who was helping run these houses and who was doing the shopping and who was doing the gardening and who was making all the items that were, Lancaster was a town of makers and factories and building, and I almost see the streets teeming with life, and we need the stories of all those people that populated the streets and were out there doing things that we don't always hear about. So
yeah, those are the people that you can relate to. Yeah. Those are the people that the majority of people that live here would relate to, and it's the ones that we never really ever talk about, which is kind of sad. So yeah, you might not see yourself living in the Georgian, but you could see yourself working here.
So we hope you'll see us out on the streets at events and come up and say hello, find out about memberships. If you've got grandchildren or children, we always have something fun to do. And we'd love to talk to you about sharing your history and local history or your family's history when we're out there in the community.
Absolutely.
are some of our lovely auction items. You can go online at biddingowl.com and put in Fairfield County Heritage Association, and our auction will come up. You have until 9 o'clock tonight, September the 8th, to bid. We have a gift basket from AHA. You have a Sherman mug and a t-shirt from the Sherman House. A lovely donation from Keller Farm Market, Rockside Winery, Nuts About You, some books, children's books, a couple crossbody purses, 2 for 1, a hand-painted umbrella stand with roses, very Victorian looking, a coffee mug and coffee, campfire coffee, another wine bundle with glasses, Christmas items, a donation from the Glass Museum. We thank them and thank you for AHA, Keller Market, and all our friends and partners in museums for helping us out here with our fundraiser. We have this great regulator clock, a gift basket from Candy Ashton and My Favorite Things with Christmas items, a throw made by late member Liz Stasiak, handmade, beautiful. Princess Diana bundle, her marking the 25th anniversary of her death this year. That's donated by Dan and Dottie Ahern. It's a beautiful Victorian light. It's been electrified. That's from Dan and Dottie too. We have our Christmas cards for this year, so you get a print and a bundle of cards and a peace plaque. Some books and playing cards. Another coffee bundle, a t-shirt, a mug, and coffee. A Venetian glassware set, pitcher, and 6 or 8 glasses. I'm sorry, I don't have that right in front of me. Made in Venice. Came from Italy. So a vintage glassware set you can't find anyplace else. Got some placemats. Harvest Blessings. Civil War books for kids, include Lego sets, t-shirts, coloring books and reading books. Tim Horton gift basket, including an ornament and mug. Thank you to them for donating. We have this old coverlet, a vintage coverlet that was produced a while back by some organization in Fairfield County, and it is available tonight. Another Sherman bundle. This very cool fire alarm box that is a liquor cabinet, and that was donated by the Aherns also, so that is a very interesting piece. I know there's been a lot of interest in that. We have car detailing. Appreciate that so much. Walker Shoe Center giving us a gift basket with all kinds of goodies in that. Thanksgiving basket for kids, stickers, books, games. This Chinese table used to be in the Georgian. It is no longer needed due to some other changes, and it is a very interesting piece and would fit about anywhere with its size. I have a piano stool that had been in the Sherman house when we had a piano in there, but the Shermans never had a piano. So we deaccessioned that, and this stool though is really lovely, and it's been put in our auction to help us raise money tonight. I have a spinning wheel, very old. It's a very interesting picture. And this is from Mud House Mansion. This was made by a local artist, and he's taken pieces from Mud House Mansion. And very, very cool conversation piece. We also have some items that I have not displayed because they are in another room. But there's something for everyone here. Wouldn't you agree? So we hope that you will bid tonight. Again, biddingowl.com, Fairfield County Heritage Association. We have gift cards also to local establishments. We have a house that you can get for 5 days out on Lake Chautauqua. Let's see, we have a 2-night stay in Pearl Cottage, a lakeside retreat, country retreat, close to home. I mean, there are just so many great things. So check it out and know that your bidding is helping us to keep Fairfield Heritage Association well into the future and sound. All right, thanks.
And there's 50 stories about that chair.
Okay. What are some of the good ones?
I've heard them all.
Okay.
Well, one docent said that was to dry your hair. You sit there and you put your hair out, the long hair out the back.
Okay.
And you rock and dry your hair. Yeah, I guess you'd have to rock fast.
Yes, you would.
But I heard that once. And then I heard it was a nursing chair, and it's a sewing chair, and it's a rocker.
Okay.
I like that one the best.
Okay. What's the story on this wonderful?
That's a nursing crib. Phyllis and Bill Gilmore gave that to us, and that's the way it was used, just pushed up to the bed. And very handy for the mother to pick the baby up to nurse it. And I think Phyllis used it as a bench.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how it would be. It's just a low tech and very smart.
I have a feeling it would be recalled today. There's one of these down at the library. And I think when I was in high school, there was one in the high school. And I think that probably Thomas Ewing Junior High probably would more than likely have one. There's several around here, but there was a sculptor's name of Thomas Day Jones, and he was from Granville, Ohio, and he sculpted Lincoln, and then he did a lot of sculpting in Washington, and the senators and so forth would have them sculpt them, and then their constituents would order a copy. So, and this tent was that real pale milky green canvas. It's not quite army green, but it's kind of a milky willow green sort of. Mm-hmm. That was the color of that. And so many people, and that's been there since day one, 1950s.
Wow.
OHS. It was made to fit, to fit that area. And people would comment on it. The Civil War guys, they'd say, they didn't have tents that color. So one of our steering committee, Kay Helm, her husband had retired, and bless his heart, he painted it. It was a job.
Yes.
There's Charles and his red hair.
And that is the original?
Yes.
Okay, and his red hair's on the back.
And there are other pictures. They had one over at the Masonic Temple,
mm-hmm.
and also in Lloyd Lewis's book.
Okay.
That picture is in there,
mm-hmm.
but it has been changed. You see where his arm is rested on?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a rail, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's changed in the picture that's in Lloyd Lewis's book.
Okay, yeah. So how do you decide what's appropriate for the house? When you said the Shermans wouldn't have had that or this or that, how have you determined that?
They weren't wealthy. Since they came on a covered wagon, they acquired, other than their cradle maybe in a chair or something,
right?
They acquired their furniture when they got here. So it would have been local furniture. And this Lancaster, just 10 years old when they came here, I'm sure there were furniture makers, probably several of them, but I'm sure they didn't have the very finest, like Mr. Reese did when he built his home. So we go by that, and
do you
we
use his
also
will?
have the inventory of the house that was taken when Charles Sherman died. And so that's what we try to stick to. We don't have a hanging a ham, and we don't have a red cow. But other than those two things, we try to stick to it.
Well, we're here with Amy Iman of Fairfield County Foundation, and I wanted to talk to Amy about planned giving, because that is one of our safety nets, our endowments for Fairfield Heritage. And she's the expert, and she's the one that takes care of it and then helps us manage the money we have. So I thought I'd let her share some of her expertise in planned giving.
Yeah, so thanks for asking me to give you some information or talk about the subject. Obviously, it's something we deal with on a regular basis. Planned giving is very simple, and we try to make it as simple as possible at the foundation. Of course, the Fairfield Heritage Association has funds at the foundation that people can donate to. And, you know, we do work with donors to help them make planned gifts to your funds. And it's very simple. Individuals can give cash through an estate, or while they're still living, if they choose to. We have a lot of people give appreciated stock or stock. We accept that direct. You don't have to. The stock can go directly from the donor's account into our account and directly to your fund. We also accept like minimum required distributions that individuals have to take each year. We accept property, which people don't always know. So if you have a piece of land you want to donate, or a piece of real estate, we can accept that as well. As I said, we work with donors while they're still living, but they can also choose to make a gift through their estate plans so that they can support the Heritage Association even after they're gone, which, you know, a lot of people do. So it's very easy. They can work directly with you to set that up, or we can meet with them to put language into their estate plans on how to leave those gifts to the Heritage Association.
And they do have some control of some of the endowments we have now. Would you speak to that? Because we have several different kinds right now that are active.
Right. So donors can choose, do they want to make a gift, a general gift to the Heritage Association for general support? We have, as you know, building and maintenance funds that can help support the facilities that you guys own and care for, to help purchase items that maybe you need for the museums or for the buildings. Yeah, donors can be as specific as they want. I would suggest they talk to you about the needs of the Heritage Association, because we want to make sure that it fits with you know, your mission and what you're doing, and something that you can actually use. So I would suggest donors do that, have a conversation with you about the needs. So.
Okay. And we also come to the foundation not only to manage our endowments, but we come asking for grants. And right now we asked for a grant. Tammy put that into the process before she left, and so we now have a lift and a power washer, and some men preparing the Georgian for some major repairs
Great.
and painting. So our relationship with the foundation is very important to us as far as them managing our money and also giving us grants to continue our mission. So thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah. We feel fortunate that we can work with nonprofits such as yourself to do that. Not only, as you said, to help manage endowments and to help facilitate gifts from donors, but also to award grants for important projects that you're doing in the community. So.
Well, thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, welcome back. And we want to thank the last videos that we had, Phyllis Kuhn, who's a curator at the Sherman House, for her expertise on some of the items there. Very interesting. And legacy giving with Wendy and Amy Iman from the foundation. And again, we are very appreciative of all the help that we've received from the foundation, all they've done for Heritage. We're most grateful, so thank you to all of them. So, also tonight, it's 7:30. That means we have half an hour left at this telethon. And I don't want to start pulling the Jerry Lewis thing and start begging, but, but please call. We really need your donations. We did not have a home tour again. So we don't have, that's one of our major fundraisers. Every fall we have some kind of a fundraiser, which in the past we've had a patron party, we've had Oktoberfest, we've had different things to raise a large amount of money. We're having this telethon to take the place of both of those events. So we really do need your help. And if you can call in or go online and donate, stop it at the Georgian and drop something off, it would really mean so much to our organization, and you will know that you're helping to keep history alive. And with that, I want to go over some of the upcoming activities that we're doing. And so you'll know that there's ways that you can be a part of Heritage. Hey, we have a fair booth. At the Fairfield County Fair, we have a booth every year where we have all sorts of interesting items. There's a contest to guess what something is. I usually never know what it is, but maybe you'll be better at that than I am. Michael Johnson is going to give a talk on cemetery symbols, iconography. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. That's October the 20th at 7 p.m. at the library. There's a cemetery tour at 2 p.m. on October the 30th. We have our fall meeting for Heritage. It's a membership meeting, but you don't have to be a member to attend because there's always an interesting program. And this year we're having author James Willis come. He's an excellent speaker, and he's going to talk about the strange and spooky side of Abraham Lincoln, which I cannot wait to hear. That will be very, very interesting. And Mr. Willis goes all over the state and gives talks on different things. He has a group called Ghosts of Ohio, and you can find their website. They go to places and try to debunk. Sometimes they're skeptical, but they want to do what they can in these interesting and sometimes odd situations. So he's come up across some weird things in his lifetime. So I can't wait to hear what he says about Lincoln. We have Christmas tea that is December the 4th at the Georgian. And the candlelight tour is December the 10th, and that's where we go to the historic churches downtown. The Civil War Roundtable, and Bill Brubaugh talked about that a little bit earlier. We have one September 21st, one October 19th, and the last one for the year will be November the 16th. So to get information on all these things, visit our website, fairfieldheritage.com, or you can follow us on Facebook or other social media. Instagram or Twitter. Call the office anytime. They'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. So again, I want to just tell you that we really, really need your help. if you can't get a donation in tonight, just call and pledge, and then you can drop a check in the mail or drop it off at the office tomorrow or next week. But this helps us to get a total so we know where we are. And again, the Fox Foundation is going to match the first $15,000 that we raise. So that is just amazing. And so help us take advantage of their generosity, and your donation can be doubled, and that's just an amazing thing. And here's information here on the screen, number to call, online, how to donate, and again, drop off a check. And if you can't give tonight, call them and pledge an amount. This is just like WOSU. We are counting on viewers like you to help us out. Now, the next skit is a little funny thing that Mary Lawrence and I did. Mary is the retired marketing director, and I'm the retired executive director. We both left in April, and we wanted to do just something a little silly for this thing tonight, the telethon. And then also following that, we're going to repeat the home tour video because we're really looking forward to doing this after so long without. So in case somebody's just tuning in late and they missed it, please watch that, and we will see you again in about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Please call. Pick up your phone and call. Okay? Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm not from around here. I'm just visiting, and I'm looking for the statue of General Sherman. Can you help me?
Oh, honey, telling people where to go is my favorite thing. Come with
I
me.
can tell.
Right here's the statue in the heart of Lancaster.
All right. So that's William Tecumseh Sherman, huh?
Yes.
I heard that William Tecumseh Sherman burnt down the South. I read it online, so I know it's true. He burnt down everything in Georgia.
No, ma'am, that is not true. Sherman actually had a very targeted trail through Georgia, marching from Atlanta to Savannah. They would stop at courthouses and get maps to find out where the richest farms were, because the idea was to destroy supplies. So it was all about destroying the will to keep fighting.
Oh, that's not what it said online. So, okay.
I can't help that.
All right. Well, now, my uncle's cousin's neighbor's best friend is a Sherman, and he is a direct descendant from General Sherman. I think he said that the general was his great-great-grandpa.
That would not be true.
What?
Sherman's sons didn't have any children, so the Sherman name was not passed down directly to his kids.
Oh, because he's a Sherman, so he thought that he was a direct descendant, so that's not.
Well, there were 11 Sherman children, so he might spring from one of their loins, but he's not the general's boy.
Okay. What can you tell me about the city of Lancaster? I mean, I'm looking around. It looks like a nice place to visit.
It is.
It's a wonderful little place. I think I saw that it was named after Henry Wadsworth Lancaster.
That would be incorrect.
The internet's wrong again?
I know it's hard to believe, but it's named after a town in Pennsylvania that's called Lancaster. These people moved here and called it New Lancaster, and we just call it Lancaster.
Lancaster. All right. I want to talk like a native, so thanks for the tip. And you know, is General Sherman the only famous person from Lancaster?
Oh no, we have all kinds of interesting folk, including this gentleman, Richard Outcalt, who lives up here. You may have heard of The Yellow Kid, the first comic strip.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You are old. And Buster Brown was another comic strip he created. You're old enough for Buster Brown shoes, weren't you? Yes, he's one of our many famous people. He actually was an artist for Thomas Alva Edison.
What?
Yes, I kid you not.
Are you familiar with an ice house at the Georgian Museum?
Yes, it's right up the street.
Okay,
let's go.
Can we check it out?
Yes, yes.
Wow, this is wonderful.
It's pretty rare to see these. Not many of them exist anymore.
Well, where are the train tracks? I read that there was an underground railroad in Lancaster, and it ended here. Where are the train tracks? I want to see the tunnels and the train tracks. Are there any place I can see that?
Oh, honey. The Underground Railroad didn't have underground train tracks.
What?
No.
The internet fooled me again.
Yet again. There were some tunnels on the Underground Railroad, but it was not an underground railroad with choo-choo train and everything. Not true.
Well, why did they call it that then?
The underground was because it was not legal. So it's like the underground economy, the Underground Railroad.
Okay, I get it now.
I doubt it.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for all the information you've given me today. I had no idea there were such wonderful things in Lancaster, and now I know the facts, so I appreciate that.
Well, if you'd like to learn more, I would suggest you join the Fairfield County Heritage Association.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Memberships are very reasonable, and you could learn more in one issue than you can learn in a year on the internet.
Yeah, I think you're right. I see. Well, where do you suggest I go next?
I'm here in the Georgian with Cindy Smith. She is the chair of the Home Tour Committee, and I'm going to talk to her about what is coming up for 2023, and we might talk a little bit about the past and what we should expect. So, hi, Cindy.
Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, this is our 52nd year. Have you been in on any of the other ones? Can you tell us what's some history and what it's like?
Sure. Oh, it's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of volunteers. Need a lot of volunteers, but it really is a very worthwhile weekend. You learn so much. You see so many different kinds of homes, public buildings. So yeah, we hope it's another great tour.
And how many buildings do you think we will see in 2023? I know there are public buildings and there are private homes. What's your goal?
Right. We would like to have 5 to 6 private homes, and we normally have, of course, the Georgian and the Sherman House. And then we do some public buildings, 3 or 4 maybe of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this year, can you share with us where the neighborhood is, where we might be seeing the homes this year?
Sure, yeah. We have a couple of homes on Broad Street, a couple of homes on High Street, Chestnut. Our public buildings are the same area, mostly High Street. And I think there's some buildings that homes and buildings that people have never been into before.
Well, that's exciting. So how do you pick them? What's the goal when you pick the buildings? Is it whoever will say yes, or is there a theme or interesting things about a building that make you ask the homeowner or the public building?
Sure. Well, just like, any design, you sometimes you have a theme and you go with it that way, or other times, yes, the homeowners will offer their homes or they'll be asked. And then we kind of figure out, what sort of a mapping area it is. And because of the pandemic, we haven't had one for a couple of years, but the last one was centered, in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And so we're coming back to Lancaster this year. And, next year we might be in another little community. So we kind of would like to go county, city if we can.
That's great. Yeah. So would it be walkable this year, or do you think there'll be a big chunk where we can walk and then we might have to drive to a couple? When you think about the map, what do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, I think that you only maybe have to move your car once. It's walkable, very walkable. So if you can picture, close to the fairgrounds and then up on High Street,
Well, that should be fun to get sort of 2 neighborhoods in one tour.
That's right.
Can you tell us about the date and the cost and the hours?
We haven't raised prices, so the date and the times, they're always they're the same as the year before. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we do have 3 ticket prices. We have a pre-sale ticket price, we have a general day admission price, and a student price. Mm-hmm. And then it's always in June, and I believe it's
24th and 25th?
24th and 25th of 2023.
And are the hours still 11 to 5, Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Yes.
When will tickets be available?
They will be available like a month before. So like the 1st of May, they should be available. And you can get them right up to that day, but don't wait.
Okay, and we can get them online, and you can call the office, you can email, all the usual ways to get tickets with us. Because this is one of our big fundraisers. So this really, between sponsors in the tour booklet and the admission, the tickets, this is one of the big ways that we fund what we do here. So it seems like there'd be several hundred people.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have 1,000. Wouldn't that be nice? I know, between all the properties. But yes, it is one of our biggest fundraisers, and we'd love to see everybody come back out and see what they think about the homes. And we tried to pick different designs this year. We even have a mid-century modern home.
Now that will be fun, because I know mid-century modern is very hot right now, and people are interested in that style. So that will be fun. So anything you want to tell us about the home tour that we haven't talked about?
I would love to have some new volunteers if we could. I'm sure Candy and Dee would like that. You know, they're in charge of our volunteers.
That's right. And we do ask homeowners to bring family and friends so they have coverage for the home. Right. So it takes a whole community to pull one of these off, because we're filling them.
All right, everyone, welcome back. This is crunch time. We are in our last part of the telethon. We have less than 15 minutes to go. So if you're going to donate, we really hope that you can donate here very soon so we can read your name on the air. If you can't donate tonight, but you want to pledge, we can still read your name off, and we'd like to do that. I have a few people since the last time. We have an anonymous donation. James and Linda Wilson, and Mary Widener. And Mary Widener, I was told just recently, drove up through the Georgian driveway and gave her donation to Carl and Lynn. And we have a picture of that we will put on our Facebook page. So I want to mention one more thing. We're doing great with the auction. You guys are really bidding on that, and there's so many cool things. So I hope you get what you want. I didn't mention this painting before. This is actually at Alley Park, and it's the barn there, and you probably recognize it if you're familiar with Alley Park at all. But Robert Kroger goes around. He's known as the barn painter, and he has gone to all 88 of Ohio's counties and painted historic barns. And he came through Fairfield County a few years ago and painted several historic barns. And we have this one left, and then there's two other of his paintings that are in our auction that are very cool. And now Bob has a new book out on round barns of Ohio, and just round barns. So he includes the one in Fairfield County. So if that's something you want to look into, that book just came out. And we also, in our gift shop in the Georgian, have his book, Historic Barns of Ohio, which includes some of these lovely barns that we've had, not only tonight, but in past auctions too. And we want to thank him for his generosity in these paintings, helping us out. So we have operators standing by. Debbie and Marty are waiting for you to call. And Carl and Lynn are waiting in the driveway. You just got a few more minutes that you can stop in there. They can still get it for you. At 8 o'clock, we're done. So we really hope that you can help us out as we've gone over some of the things that Heritage does. We are the County Historical Society. So we outreach to the entire county. We are interested in history, not just Lancaster, not just the Shermans and the McCrackens, but all history. And that is just something that we find fascinating. And I know when I worked there, you just never knew what kind of a phone call you were going to get. Somebody would ask a question, and it would be anything. And to be able to research that and know and learn about some history and the connections. It was always just amazing. And I remember so many times that we would get off the phone, one of us in the office, and we'd say, guess what? And we would tell the other ones what we had learned. So that's information that we love to share with all of you. And I know there's so many people in this area who love history. So you should belong to the Heritage Association if you're not already a member, because you will get so much information and know that you're a part of keeping this history alive. Memberships are very, very reasonable. And so you can get that information on our website too. I'm not going to go over it right now, but it's very, very reasonable. And so go on our fairfieldheritage.com website and look up the admission and the membership and all the other information that you need to know to enjoy our museums, to become a member, and support our activities. We have so many activities going on. You can buy a ticket for them. That helps us, helps to pay for the cost of the program, and hopefully a little bit more so that we can continue serving all of you that are watching tonight and your families. So before our last part here, this is it again. This is crunch time. So if you can donate, please do. I'm just grateful to have been a part of Heritage. I started volunteering about 20 years ago, and I had the honor to be the executive director for 4 years and enjoying retirement now. But it was really a pleasure and an honor to be a part of the Heritage Association. And I think that everybody that is involved with Heritage today and in the past feels the same way. And if you want to have a feeling like that too, that this is a place you need to be. And we're always looking for volunteers for the museums to be a docent or a receptionist. We need volunteers for our activities sometimes, different things that we do that we need some help. So anyway, thank you for your attention tonight, and let's watch this last little bit and enjoy the bloopers.
Are you starting this?
No.
I'm starting this?
Yeah, this is yours. I'm just here. I'm just here for color.
Green.
What? Unless he married someone named Sherman. Sherman had no direct descendants. Sherman's
objects, and so that's start over again. Hi folks, this is Mark Taylor, president of Heritage. One of the
No, ma'am, that is not true. try once again.
Okay.
Stuff.
Well, let me say something, and you decide what you want different.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
The Fairfield Heritage Association. So, you're supposed to interrupt me then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So let me.
Why would he do that?
Start over.
Okay.
We're so grateful of them.
Yeah. I don't know who's next.
Mary Catherine Candy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Cindy, tell me about the home tour.
Well, yeah, so here we go.
I can start with where I start talking about
Okay, yeah, okay.
the books, okay? Okay, I'll let me gather my thoughts.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Originally, they were a set of 10 chairs. Can't screw that up. Original set of 10 chairs. The original set of 10 chairs that were put back. God. Can we start over again?
Yeah.
And anyone that answers can follow you, can walk you, sorry. And
native, so thanks for the tip. Okay. And then we'll go to
So lame. Okay.
there's also a gift shop at the Sherman Museum. Sorry.
You're fine.
It's back there a bit far. That's a no-no.
What? Grabbing the handles? I've just committed the cardinal sin.
Editing
and everything.
And then fill in with
Yep.
pictures and whatnot. Good job.
Perfect. Which groups of 12 and 15-year-olds can schedule a gathering on a Monday.
Wait, that doesn't sound right.
So we
knew Sherman could get really mad. And I didn't know if...
Oh, that was the red hair. That was the red hair.
Okay.
You know what they say about red hair.
Yes.
That is so right, Caroline. Caroline. Can we do that? Okay.
Yep.
That is Black Pioneer. You know that thing you did. What did you do, Michael? Explain what you did. Can we start again?
Continue to keep these Fairfield County gems open to the public. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed our skit and the blooper reel. We were laughing here about some of those things, so hope you enjoyed it as well. If you're watching live tonight, thank you. This will be rerun at some point in time on channel 1021. I don't know exactly when that will be, but just keep watching. Sometime next week, I'm told, so thank you, Shane. We just had a anonymous donation of $500, so that's great. So I want to tell you, so far we have raised tonight $13,020 in cash donations. Thank you. It's amazing. We are still taking donations, and then this does not include the auction. And we're doing very well with the auction, but you need your help, and you can have some kind of great items that and experiences that you can help us out with. So the auction is on until 9 o'clock tonight, so you only have about another hour to bid. You can bid early, bid often, and help us out, because all that money goes towards a telethon and goes towards our goal. And we're trying to raise $30,000 tonight to make up for our lost fundraisers this year because of still the COVID situation. So thank you all for that. I think I've mentioned a lot of people, but we do I want to mention a couple people that we lost this year. I mean, we lost several really, really good volunteers. We lost Liz Stasiak and Marlene McManus, who were docents. We lost Fran Miller, who helped us at our fair booth. So the fair booth won't be the same without her, and she just did a lot to help us over so many years. So we will miss her. And Howard Bradford was a good member and a very good supporter. And also, yes, I was going to mention Jim Hochtel. He started, he was the president of the Civil War Roundtable for many years. He didn't start it, but he came in and helped to grow it. And just the nicest guy. He helped with some maintenance issues that we'd have around the Sherman House, and he would build things, and he built a replica of a turning library shelf, like a table too. So amazing. And so these are volunteers that we've lost, and we will miss them. And it just shows you that one person can make a big difference. So you can make a big difference. And I want to see here on the screen, show you, these are some of the people that helped make this telethon possible tonight. We don't have every name, but we have a lot of them. And if you're not included, I apologize. These were the names that I had at the time we had to make this slide. So thank you to all these people that were a part of the video tonight. Congratulations again to Barb Sullivan, our Diane Eversole Award winner for 2022. And please still donate. We will still take donations. Always welcome any time of the year. So call, give online, drop off a check, or don't forget the auction night ends at 9, biddingowl.com. So thank you again to everybody. We've raised over $13,000 so far with the auction. That's going to take us to probably about 20 or so, we'll hope. So again, it's been my pleasure to be your host tonight for the auction. And I wanted to say bye-bye.